Heads up. In the Kemetic language, that means peace. I want to say assalamu alaikum, shalom, to all our people who may be following various religious thoughts. My name is General Kenyatta, and I first of all want to inform you that Keita Kenyatta is my actual name. I've chosen the name General Kenyatta because the first thing I recognize is that we as African people throughout the entire globe, whether we understand it, recognize it or not, are in a state of war. And for those who don't recognize that we're at a state of war or that we're in a state of war, it doesn't make a difference, because you're dying just like soldiers anyway. They're locking us down in prisons just like POWs anyway. You see? So if you're in a battle and you're dying and you're being imprisoned and you aren't aware that you're in a battle, then that makes you a casualty of war. And we've been casualties in this country for far too long. Right now, this is, as they say, the so-called new millennium. Well, if it is indeed the new millennium, then we need some new millennium black people, some new millennium African people who understand the war that we're engaged in. I want to, first of all, because this is going on YouTube, and you know, YouTube's a very unique place because there's a lot of nuts on YouTube. You know, black ones, white ones, it don't make a difference. There's a lot of nuts on YouTube. And I want you to understand that as my videos progress, that I will be speaking on various subjects as it relates to our history, our culture, religion. That's a big one for us. And because we're dying, as it so well says in the so-called Bible, the 17th Bible that everybody's reading. You know, the King James Bible is the 17th Bible. There were 16 Bibles before the King James Version. But at either rate, it says in there that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Well, I've been having to ask myself a good question. When they say we're destroyed for lack of knowledge, exactly what is it that they're saying? What are they saying to me? We have fully participated in the American experience. Basically, we have fought in all its wars, our people. Our ancestors built this country off of the sweat of their backs. From sun up to sundown, beat, raped, mutilated, sodomized, slaughtered, torn apart by horses, bellies cut open, babies stomped into the ground. These are the type of experiences we've gone through, but you see, it's bigger than that, and it's deeper than that. Okay? Now I want to make this clear before I really get started in this. If you are a black person in America, Jamaica, Barbados, it doesn't make a difference where you're from, and you are not an angry black man and woman, something's wrong with you. You see? It's impossible to learn and know your history and not be angry, not be upset, not be totally disgusted at what has occurred and the various peoples whose roles are responsible for our present condition. I have often been asked on many occasions the question of, if we was all that and we was on top, how did we fall? How did we get on the bottom? How did we get in this position that we're in today? If we are indeed the mothers and fathers of all people, if we are indeed the people who are responsible for civilizing the world, okay? If we are the people who, through our genetic ancestors, brought civilization to the world, mathematics, science, agriculture, architecture, anatomy, medicine, spiritual development, science, it doesn't make a difference. Biology, it doesn't make a difference. We did it. If we are those people, what happened to us to bring us to this point that we're in now, whereby we are on the bottom of the spectrum in every area of life? What happened and who did it? And more importantly, what role did our own people play in this? Consciously, subconsciously. What are the forces that we're up against that today has us reinforcing white supremacy and racism, has us reinforcing our own death and destruction? What forces are at play? That's important. Brother Omawale, a.k.a. Malcolm X, a.k.a. El Hajj Malik Shabazz, said or spoke about the house Negro and the field Negro in his speech, Message to the Grassroots. And although that was well over 40-something years ago, he must be given all respect for his insight and his learning and his perspective, and more importantly, his dedication to us as a people. I want to bear in mind that he didn't have the privilege, the luxury of the various scholars and researchers of all races that we have today. You see? And yet he was able to make such a clear and critical analysis of what our issues are. So I first of all want to dedicate my videos and what it is that I have to say to Brother Omawale. And more importantly, I want to dedicate what I have to say to Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Yosef Ben Yekin, Dr. Ivan Van Sertima, John G. Jackson, George G.M. James. I want to dedicate my videos to Chancellor Williams, Ivan Van Sertima, and Ra'am Nefer, and Albert Churchwood, and Gerald Massey, and Leila Africa, and Francis Cress Welsing, and J.A. Rogers, and so many, Drusilla Dungy Houston. I have a lot of people whose backs I stand upon, whose shoulders I stand upon. And we all stand upon their shoulders, whether we recognize it or not.